In this video, we are going to learn how to calculate the empirical formula. In a different video, we'll learn how to calculate the molecular formula. So you are going to write whatever I write and eventually glue this foldable onto page 102. I did not photocopy perfect, so when you cut it, you're not going to be able to cut exactly on the dotted lines. Hold it up to the light. Alright, so we're going to focus on the empirical formula first. We're going to do that part first. Right, so the abbreviation for empirical formula, the one that we use is EF. And I want you to write the definition that it's the lowest whole number ratio for a compound. That's the definition. If only given a formula, just simplify subscripts. Right? For example, CH2O, you can't simplify those subscripts, so that would be an empirical formula because it's the lowest whole number ratio for a compound. One of the ways that we are asked to find the empirical formula is we're given a formula. For example, if we have C6H12O6, which is glucose, these subscripts can be simplified. I can divide them all by 6, and then I get CH2O. So this is the empirical formula, and this would be the molecular. Right? So that's one way that you can find the empirical formula. That's the first way. That's the easiest way. The second way that we find empirical formula is, no, that was going to write through, is when we are given percents. And if we're given percents, we have to do a second method which requires a few steps. Right? So here is the problem. It says automobile antifreeze is composed of 38.7% carbon, 9.7% hydrogen, and 51.6% oxygen. The molar mass of this compound is 62.1 grams per mole. Determine the empirical and molecular formulas. So empirical formulas on this side, that is what we're going to focus on. The only time you do this is when they ask for the empirical formula and they give you percents, and then you go through this step-by-step process to find the empirical formula. So if I write it, you write it. Alright, step number 1. You're going to divide the percents by their atomic masses. So divide percent by atomic mass. That is step number 1. So in this problem, I have 38.7% carbon. I'm going to put the C there so I know what it is. 9.7% hydrogen, and I have 51.6% oxygen. I'm going to divide those by their atomic masses. So here's a division: 12.01 atomic mass, 1.008 atomic mass, and 15.99. I need to get a number for those. So equals, equals, equals. Give my calculator. Alright. So, if I cannot find it. Let me use this. Okay. 38.7 divided by 12.01 equals 3.22. Now, you don't have to go out super far. If you take a look at my phone, it goes out super far. And that's not necessary, but go out to, you know, a little bit. So like the hundredths place. Right. Clear. 9.7 divided by 1.006. And again, I get a ton of numbers. I'm going to do 9.62. That's fine. And then 51.66 divided by 1599, 3.23. Okay. Oh, there it is. That's step number 1. We just did step number 1. Step number 2. We're going to divide all by the smallest answer from step 1. So we're going to divide all by smallest answer, step 1. Smallest answer from step 1. That's weird. Yes. So we're going to take a look. We have 3.22, we have 9.62, and 3.33. Well, 3.33 and 3.22 really are the same number. So this one's the smallest. So I'm going to divide everything by it. I know that this equals 1, and this equals 1, because you're going to round. And 9.62 divided by 3.2 is, my calculator has 2.98, but I'm going to round that up to a 3. Right. Step number 3, for these numbers, we rounded to whole, or half numbers, right? So a half number, I'm talking about 0.5 or 1.5, right? Half. These were all whole numbers right there. All right. And if at this place, if you get a half number, double everything. But that's only if. We don't have any half numbers here, so we're good. The very last step is the answers from step 3 or 4 are the subscripts. These are the subscripts. So if I wrote the element here, I just had to roll back. C is 1. C is 1. H is 3. O is 1. Okay. So I just found the empirical formula. When I'm provided percents, I go through these particular steps. The only time I have to go through those steps is if I start at percents. If you're only given a formula, you just simplify the subscripts, just like I did here. So there are two methods. There are two methods. Here we were given this as a formula. We divided everything by 6 to get the empirical formula. So there are two methods to find the empirical formula.